We hear women come up and talk about how successful they are and how intimidated men are, and they never say a word about their character. And I just can't help but think about how turned off women get when men lead with money and lead with accomplishment and end up having nothing but unavailability and coldness and lack of emotional development, because that unfortunately is what it takes to succeed in certain career fields. You can look it up. And for some reason, women think that the success that they've amassed has somehow happened without them becoming devoid of a lot of the personality and relationships that men are devoid of. And they flex their accomplishments and money the same way men do. And somehow we make it different every time. Every time. No disrespect to you, but you didn't say about being a good woman. Nothing.
Why
You didn't say no. Fuck all that, bro. Didn't say nothing about.
I can tell you what happened.
No, let him brew. Let him brew. Let him brew.
This is about a larger point. This is not about her as an individual. We don't hear, I'm successful, I got my degree, and I've been in therapy the last 3 years working out my issues. I just bought a house, and I also identified my childhood trauma, and it took inventory over my baggage, and I got it out the way. Oh, also, I'm loyal. My time management is on point. I do what I say I'm going to do. I'm considerate. We never hear any of it. What I hear is when say that y'all act like, when men say that y'all have turned into alphas, what we're talking about is the worst parts of manhood. Y'all have taken it on. Now, the problem with men is that we won't admit that those are the worst parts of us too. But shorty, y'all have taken the worst parts of what it means to be successful, and y'all wear that like a badge. Look at what it's done to us. If you need an example of what it looks like to only live in your accomplishments, look at the black men around you. You in a city full of them. Look at how devoid they are. Look at what it took them to get to where they are. Look at how underdeveloped some of them are emotionally. This is what you want? Is this what we're going to do, to let accomplishments be band-aids for that?
All right. I ran into that. I just thought I would start today's stream with that snippet from, Trip has a lot of good things to say. And I've heard him say good things. I don't agree with everything he says. There are plenty of times when he does the pandering thing, obviously so. But he has a lot of well thought out responses. And that is true. I think when it comes to knowing what you want, and if that's a healthy relationship, if that's your goal, then you can't just bring the money and status. And there was a very valid point there being made about what it takes to have a successful relationship, or a healthy relationship at that, right? You need somebody who's emotionally mature enough on both ends, and I mean both men and women who come together, so that they could sustain that relationship. But a lot of times you'll see that most people, usually because of what they hear online, you hear women say things like, oh, if he's not rich, then I'm not interested. All men are terrible, so just marry the richest one. When you can only get so far in that type of dynamic, you're setting yourself up for failure. Vice versa, when you hear the women come on in front of cameras, they're flexing all their accomplishments, and men just don't care. If you are a man who thinks you need to work on that part of yourself, in Brew Brothers, we have a whole section is dedicated to an introduction to therapy for men. We have Alvin Gilmore, professional, is in there, and he walks you through why therapy may be, because I don't believe it's for everybody, but if you believe it will help you, why it may be good for you. Let's check out a few comments here, see what the people have to say. Top comment here says, "Dear God, thank you for Trip." Fontaine, a rare treasure. Somebody else here says, "The silence is deafening." Yeah, that was interesting, right? Because when you usually see these little clips and someone's done making a point, I think the majority of the people in the audience are women. And so they're usually cheering at what they hear, but there was no cheering here because there was a bit too much bitterness. And we're talking about how dark and muddy that coffee was. Somebody else here says, boy, the quietness is real loud. Here's somebody else who says, when a person leads with their accomplishments, they are looking for validation. Run. Somebody else here says, glad that he didn't allow Kita to interrupt with her sarcasm. Right. Yeah. That chick, that Kita chick is, she's loud. I'm sure she serves her purpose there on that panel for sure. But that just didn't seem like the right time to interject when that very important point was being made. And what's interesting about that is that should tell you a lot about someone's awareness, situational awareness to conversations, and how maybe they would discuss things within a conversation. Somebody else here says exactly why Pep's wife is divorcing him, complaining about his unavailability, yet wants the 50% of everything acquired due to his unavailability. Here's somebody else who says, true and just insane. Pep's divorce is just insane. I feel for him. He will never be the same. Somebody else says, who is Pep? And somebody responded here and says, the greatest football manager of all time. Yeah, get a prenuptial agreement, fellas. Head over to fathershaverights.com. Get free legal information and protect yourself if you're somebody who's going to enter a marriage. Not so you can be reckless and get away with bad behavior. No, that's not why at all. Remember, you have the power to decide the boundaries and expectations within your marriage. Moving on. Here we are. Y'all agree? Dr. Heavenly. I don't know what type of a doctor she is. I think a dentist. But she says to women, fellas, pay attention. It says women should never admit to cheating. Take it to the grave. Really? Let's listen to what's going on here.
And can have multiple men. It's just not accepted. It's not good. It's certain things you cannot do. So you have to act accordingly. And if you're going to do it right, you walking by, baby. If you're going to do it, you better keep that lie forever. You better not. That's between you, him, and God. And I don't care if somebody saw you, it wasn't you. You never say you did it. You hear what I'm saying?
You never say you did it.
Never say you did it.
So you take it to the grave.
You take that lie to the grave. Even that man, even if the man said you did it, he a lie. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You don't even tell him you did it, and that's the one you did it with. Ooh. You don't tell that as a woman. Man, I'm telling you, don't tell it either. But some kind of way y'all dumb get found out.
So if you missed it, she said, even if the dude who you let clap the cheeks says you did it, you deny it till the death. Till the death. Let's keep listening.
Some kind of way. But to get back, you think you getting back with a man by cheating on him and then letting him know or finding out? That's a good way to lose your man. That if you don't want him, just let him know. You know what I'm saying? But to think that you're going to get back with him and keep your man, chances are, it's an exception to every rule, but chances are you about to lose that damn man, okay? Dr. Heavenly look real good, but this is Dr. Heavenly with some relationship advice, okay? I smile by Dr. Heavenly. Tell these little girls what to do. How you turn this shit off?
All right. Did she say don't cheat? Maybe there's an extended version where she encouraged them not to cheat. And listen, I'm somebody who knows that men and women cheat. Women, and you're seeing the proof right here, they have an internal code, and they know the consequences. They know that most men are not able to forgive the way that women are usually able to work through infidelity. That's just the way it is. You can be mad about it. It's just the way it is. But I think both men and women, the first thing that needs to be said is be loyal. Do not step out of your relationship. Do not step out of your marriage. Now, saying take it to the grave and don't tell them, from what I've seen, most men want to know. There are men who would rather not know. Believe it or not, there are men who would rather not know. There are women out here And people don't like nuance, but life isn't this like black and white thing. You have to take in the nuance with everything. There are women out here who know that they have the type of man who cannot leave and would probably just be heartbroken, but would still stay. And they tell that man not because they feel like they want to be honest, but because the guilt that's weighing on them is too much. And to that woman, I think that's a horrible thing to do. And in that case, if you know your man is not going to leave and you're just going to mess his mind up for as long as he's in that marriage, then you probably do want to keep it to yourself. Now, I just gave you guys 3 different responses that happen in real life. For some reason, when you give people 3 different alternatives to the way that they see their life and the way that they live, people lose it. It doesn't change anything. Now, here's where I want to highlight this conversation. These modern women are out here cheating. Best believe it. And most of them don't need to be told to take it to the grave. They understand the assignment. Let's read a few comments here. Top comment here says, I hope daddy paying attention. Here's somebody else who says, definitely, especially if you're dealing with a crash out. Wow. So this chick over here agrees. Talking about you're dealing with a crash out. And she's in a relationship. Oh, no. That's Chris Brown. Okay, she paid for that, by the way. She paid $1,000 to take that photo with Chris Brown. Wow.
A woman can.
Wow. Let's see what else we have over here. Somebody else here says, true, a man will never forgive you. Sounds like So Raven has been through it and expect you to forgive them for theirs, but let it be your turn. He will never look at you the same. Turn? You taking turns cheating? Like, what's going on? It's my turn? Somebody else who says that's because they can't take the same hurt they inflict. It's not just that, man. Biologically, you have, like, if you go into the animal kingdom, I remember being at a safari and they were explaining how, I don't know if it was the lions or the zebras, but one of those two, they will actually, I think it was lions, they will actually take over a pride. And if there are any children, they'll unalive those kids because most males within species, they're wired to keep their bloodline going. And so men are constantly trying to make sure that they're not taking care of another man's kid. And cheating brings that possibility, right? Somebody else here says she's trying to tell daddy something. Somebody else here added, or wait, how about you stay faithful and be honest? Like, what the hell? I do agree with that. Here's another chick who says she ain't ever lied. This chick says facts. Whole lot of people agreeing. We've got Jada here talking about that part. What a fitting GIF. Next comment says, I wouldn't listen to Heavenly's advice about a toothpaste recommendation. Oh, so she's not really trusted, it sounds like. Yeah. Hey, you know what they say? Even a broken clock is right twice a day. But guys, believe it or not, it continues. Here is a man who had a question for the women when it came to the men that they've cheated on. Let's hear what he had to ask.
Ladies, I got a question for y'all. When you cheat on your mans, what did you do for him to never find out? Because we all know there are some women that cheats on their husband and the husband will never know. He'll never know. So what do y'all do for him to never know?
All right. And you know, since TikTok is at a place where people are thinking this is it, there are a lot of people being honest, more honest than they were before. So we're going to read these comments. He says, hey, when you cheat on your husband, what do you do? What do you do to confuse him so that he can never find out? Top comment here says, and why would we tell you that? So they can catch our sisters cheating? Women code over here. Y'all better hush. That was the top comment, and the rest were snitches. Because women, you know, emotional creatures, can't control themselves. They have to spill the tea. Can't help themselves. This commenter says, I made a salad, lasagna, garlic knots, and ate it. Does she mean and he ate it? Anyways, and the rest is in the refrigerator. What was your next question? What? Okay, somebody else here says the creator comments are wild. This chick says, I had mine book a babecation. A babecation for me and my sneaky link. So to my gentlemen out there who, when I say, hey, make sure you define what a girl's trip is. I'm not saying a woman should never be able to travel with their friends. That's not what I'm saying. But these dudes out here who are okay with girls trips and they haven't defined what crosses your boundaries, and you think, oh, I'm not insecure, and you're buying plane tickets for her, remember this comment. Plain evil. She goes on to say, I'm not with either of them anymore, so I'm okay sharing. Trying to make it better. This is her.
What I've noticed is joining this WhatsApp group or
Wow.
follow for follow. That's good because it raise your following. Yeah.
There you go, ma'am. Gotcha. Should have kept it to yourself. All right. Oh, man. Internet's a wild place. Here's somebody else that says, when I was married, I had my now ex. I think like we have to brace ourselves for these comments. When I was married, I had my now ex-husband shake hands with my side guy at our home. He still has no clue. This shit is evil. Pure evil. Yeah. What? Shook hands? Your husband shook hands with your side guy? Somebody else responded and says, didn't understand the assignment, huh? Zip it. Stop it. When have you ever seen women stick to anything? What happened to the 4B movement? What happened to the 4B movement? It lasted about 48 hours and they went back into the streets. Of course, we're talking about modern women here. Ladies, not the women of the coffee pot. It's the modern angry feminists. This next chick thought she was going to stop the truth by commenting, ladies, keep it cute and mute. We move in silence, right? No, you don't actually. Moving on. Somebody else here says, ladies don't answer that. Wow, they're really trying to hold back the knowledge here. I've never met a woman that cheats. Never. Nah. We're going to find more. Ran straight to the comments to make sure my ladies didn't fall for this. We don't cheat. Wow. He didn't notice because he was too busy trying to cheat on me. Okay. Yeah. That's it. Nah, there's 7,000 plus. Hold on. Why aren't these comments going down? I don't know what's going on here. Oh yeah, we got more here. Ah, there we go. I just had to extend it. This comment says, first time I've ever seen women in comments come and move together as one unit. Whoa. They're really sticking to this silence rule thing. So think about this for a second here. If this is the first time, and I'm really scrolling here, we don't cheat. No, everybody's afraid to share it because maybe they know Chisha Zed is over here scouring for the truth. But you got to think of how crazy that is. Yeah, they're all like, I never tell, never kiss and tell. No, we don't understand. Be quiet, ladies. 7,000 plus comments and only two of them so far decided to keep it real. The rest of the 7,000 plus are decided not to speak. That should honestly be worrisome. Is like when asked about cheating, women all of a sudden, their senses come on and they start sipping on that caffeine. Wow. Oh, how about this one? Made him become a swinger so we could do our thing together. The fact that some of these women answer this question, those are the ones who get caught because they're stupid. Whoa, they be blabbing. And if they didn't say it to them, I bet a friend did. Yeah. We're in the last days. Don't get it twisted, man. These women are out here getting their cheeks. It's just what it is. That's the honest truth. I'm not gonna lie to you. Do these women today look like they're avoiding getting their cheeks clapped? Are you serious? Wow, 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 wow. They kept it together in there to the best way that they could. They really did. You guys saw me. I just looked through. They did their best to keep it together. All right. Next, I want to talk about this situation involving a teacher, principal, or something along those lines. This is going to be a pretty jarring video that I'm going to show, and I'm going to have to censor a part of it because I think it's too violent for YouTube. I think it's too violent for YouTube. And when it's too violent for YouTube, then YouTube kind of punishes the algorithm. So check this out. What you're about to see in this video here, and I'm going to actually I'm actually going to pause that for a little bit, is the blonde lady you see right there is a teacher or a principal, something along those lines. She sees two young black children. And it's important I say that because there's a whole lot going on here. But they're close to the game that's happening. They're playing ball right there. So the basketball game. And she goes over to these kids to move them out of the way to protect them, right? From anything happening to them because she sees that they're getting close. Now, after she goes over and helps these kids move over to protect them, the mother doesn't like the fact that she was touching her kids, gets up in the lady's face. And what she does next that you won't be able to see here is that she puts her hands on the principal, teacher, whatever. Injuries and a whole lot resulted from this. We're going to listen to the audio real quick, and we're going to blur out some stuff just so that you guys get a better understanding of what exactly is going on. And by the way, she knocked her to the ground.
Tonight, this video of a principal getting slapped to the ground is turning heads in the city of Plaquemine. On Monday, the principal at Iberville Elementary was watching a basketball game when police say she noticed young children walking onto the court while the game was being played. You can see the principal getting up so the little kids didn't get hurt. At least 2 times, she pulls the kids back while the game is in play. At some point, Plaquemine Police Chief Stephen Angolio says words were exchanged, and the mom was having none of it. After the principal was knocked to the ground, you can see she grabs a napkin to wipe her face. Police say she had a busted lip and a head injury. Tonight, Alicia Parker, the mom seen hitting the principal, is facing felony charges: battery on a school teacher, resisting officers, and disturbing the peace. Another woman who also got involved is also facing charges. Jamisha Godshaw, charged with assault on a school teacher, disturbing the peace, battery of a school teacher, and threatening a public official.
You get in a fight at a public event, you're going to jail. Nobody wants to come out and go to 4th of July's and Mardi Gras parades and ball games and see that. And I don't blame them. You know, before it was like escort them out, write them a summons or whatever. You get in a fight, start any kind of fistic ruckus at a public event in Plaquemine, you're going to jail.
This is a perfect transition into me bringing up the topics I've spoken about numerous times about teachers and what they have to deal with in these schools. I've released countless videos of teachers expressing why they're quitting. At the top of the list of the reasons of why they're quitting are this. It has to do with parents who do not allow them to discipline children. However, this video is confusing and even takes that whole issue a step further because, as you guys saw, she was actually trying to help those kids. It wasn't about disciplining them. She was trying to help them and move them out of the way. I have the utmost respect for teachers. We need good teachers. They don't get treated right. And too many times, they'll have to deal with difficult children and parents who do not allow them to discipline those children. This right here and many other things you've seen are exactly what teachers are dealing with in the school system. And of course, we probably have a single mother here who's just running on emotion, and you're raising up children who nobody can check. And the only time they get checked, and you will get checked, is when you're getting arrested and getting hauled off to jail. So what's crazy here is you actually have commenters like this who look at that situation and they say, wait, absolutely not. At first I thought she just clocked her, but the principal, no matter her intentions, not only touched that woman's kids, she literally pushed the woman first. So because the mother got in her face and was threatening her, and she put her hands out, this commenter right here is so blinded by whatever biases he has about life, in whatever it is, that he looked at that situation and thought the mother was in the right. Here's the only unfortunate thing you can take comfort in when it comes to people who have this mindset, is they end up being their own demise. The only way you get sucked into people's toxicity, backwards thinking, who would look at that situation or see a kid slapping a teacher in classrooms like I've shown on here and think, well, why was she talking? Why was the teacher talking to him like that? The only time you can get sucked into that and it affect you is when you don't know when to let those people make their own bad decisions and suffer their consequences, because it's coming. It always does. Somebody else here added, so ghetto and embarrassing. Y'all tripping in these comments. She's mad someone did her job for her. Watch your effing kids right. And so you see here that there's a split, right, in the comments. And there's a racial factor to this whole thing. I just noticed this right there. Yeah. Right when I was saying it, I just noticed it. There's a racial factor to this whole thing. You have black people who are looking at this and saying, you shouldn't be moving my kids out of the way. Let them get hit. Let them get hurt. Don't discipline my children. Nothing. And they don't want the teachers to do anything. Then you have people who are like, hey, that's that teacher's job. It's the principal's job. And then, of course, whenever there's a racial situation, you're going to have trolls, right? This is a troll. No one respects this or agrees with this, who is trying to come and have an honest conversation here, a healthy, honest conversation about this particular situation. This person wasn't on the court. But this is crazy. Somebody else who says, say what you will, don't touch my child. Say what you will, don't touch my child. This is what they're dealing with in these schools. Did you guys see what I showed you earlier? She didn't go over there and pull kids by their hair or push them over and give them a talking to. No, she simply moved the children out of the court so that they don't get hurt. These would be the same people asking, where's the village? Where's the help? We're all by ourselves, struggling. It's hard doing it by myself. But no one can tell you what to do. Let them be, man. Let them be. You're stressing yourself out. I feel bad for some of these teachers that they can't just let them be. But they have a passion for children that end up being the reason they get hurt. But this is crazy. This chick right here talking about, so whatever, just don't touch my kids. Right? So here you have a mixture of people. And of course, this is turning more of into a racial thing. There does get a point online where like common sense leaves the whole conversation. And it's all about like, I don't care what happens. If a train's coming towards my kid, yell at them, don't move them. But when that train hits the kid and runs them over and they die, they'll say, oh, that's what you wanted to happen. This is your fault. Here's a woman who happens to be black who says the mama dead ASS wrong. Why is this even a debate? The problem is you're engaging in a debate with people who don't drink coffee. And this is how you get situations where you're wondering, Why didn't anybody step in to help her out? Why didn't anybody, people were just watching and protect. This is it. Somebody else here says pure racism. Here's another person who says, conservative black girls. Conservative black girls. Let's see. All right. This looks like a page on Threads. They posted, I would have been appreciative if she moved my baby off the court. I hope that principal is doing well, praying for her. Okay, kind response there. Here's somebody else who says, she isn't a representation of real black women. So who's this saying this? Okay, all right. So this is the commenter here, because I know people like to make sure. And they'll jump to bots or whatever they want to call it. But she says she isn't a representation of real black women. She one of the hood boogers they be talking about. 500 plus likes on that. And we have another woman here, okay, her, responded back and says, word, because she should have been watching her kids. Then, heifer, you're too close to that lady's face. I would have pushed her back too. People just want to see black and white instead of wrong from right. Ooh.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Okay, Jay. Okay. People just want to see black and white instead of wrong from right. That's pretty well put. Let me see here. Hold on. Somebody else here says, truth be told, hood boogers are becoming more and more popular as representatives of our community. Somebody else here says, there's always one. Because what is this comment? Here's somebody else who says hood boogers with the laughing emoji. Somebody else here says, I agree. And she only got pushed because she was all up in that lady's face with her stank at breath and that thing on her head. Somebody else here, another woman, got to bring them up on screen here. She says, exactly. And as a black mother, my baby's not going to be on the court. And I wouldn't be that damn mad for them helping. Simply doing her job. I mean, I would, you know what's crazy? If that was my child there, on the court, and I saw that, what's blowing my mind is I would actually walk up and say, hey, thank you. Thank you so much. That'll be my response. Thank you so much for that. And then I would get my kid or kids, and I don't have multiple kids. I only have a son. And I would pull them to the side. Then I would go on with the rest of my day. And then I would go on with the rest of my day. Let's see if we have any more here. Somebody else here says, is this too hard for y'all to comprehend? The principal pulled the kids off the court so they wouldn't get hurt. This lady sure had to learn the hard way. Control your emotions. You are not a child. Here. All right. Chisha, why are you showing the profiles? I think people appreciate it. And a lot of people agree with that comment. All right. So moving on to our next topic.
I had to get my Ford baby daddy to come over here and fix my boiler because this one over. Look at this one.
The caption here says, my fourth baby daddy came to save the day. This looks like her current baby daddy. Listen, I just report it. And she's clowning on this dude because he can't do what the fourth baby daddy can do. These are real lives out here, people. While you're thinking this has to be a skit, these are real lives.
Just laid up with his long hair hanging out. Couldn't fix my damn boiler. Been 2 days. I couldn't take a bath. And I had to call my other baby daddy come fix it.
Your ass don't take a bath anyway.
Man, shut your up. Don't worry about that. I need you to go over there and give my other baby daddy a hand, just laying around over here doing nothing. You should go learn something off of him. He could build me a house from the ground up.
That's why he getting paid.
Man, I don't know why I got with your.
Can I buy $200 real quick?
If you shut your, you better go find those $200. Why do I gotta pay? I'll pay with something else if you want me to. I ain't got money. We could do a little something else real quick.
Bro, hold on. Did she just say she will pay her fourth baby daddy with her cheeks? And this is funny to him. So she had a choice 4 times of the type of dude she wanted. And it looks like all 4 times, other than the other guy, she decided to break up families and probably complain about this guy being a bum.
Hey, you want that?
As long as they come out my pocket.
You stupid, bro. That was the biggest mistake I ever made in my life. Can y'all believe that? Jesus Christ. I swear, get y'all a handyman. Get y'all a handyman.
You're disrespecting. It's his fault. The man has no respect. Let's check a few of these comments. Somebody's top comment here says, we listen and we don't judge. Somebody else here says, number 5, just chilling. Here's somebody else who says, may this love never find me. Another person here added, the positive side is that they come in on clutch. Would you agree with me if I said that a lot of chicks today practice polygamy without actually having the title? Is it called polygamy, or let me talk to Miss Coffee. Miss Coffee, what is it called when women have multiple men as partners? Is it polygamy or polygyny? I think it's an N, but I'm not sure.
The term you're looking for is polyandry. Polygamy refers to a marriage or relationship structure where an individual has multiple spouses or partners without specifying the gender. Polyandry is the specific term for when a woman has multiple male partners. Polygyny, on the other hand, refers to a man having multiple female partners. Let me know if you'd like further clarification.
No, that's good. I was completely off. So polyandry. Would you agree that there are a lot of chicks out here who are just cool exercising or practicing polyandry?
I had to get my 4 baby daddy.
And they really do live that life. Part of the reason why a lot of dudes aren't eager or rush for single mothers a lot of the times, because you don't really know what's going on, especially if they have multiple baby daddies. One of them's coming through in the night. If they're not, they can. Or she's trying to remain loyal. I don't think people understand just how far-reaching the consequences are when you give your body to another man. Here's somebody else who says, wow, no shame in the game. Here's somebody else who added, damn, 4. He's such a mood. Yeah, that's insane. Here is another woman who is crying and complaining about her decisions to become a baby mama with multiple baby daddies. Check it out.
I'm really just up because I need somebody to talk to. Like, this single mom shit is starting to get to me. Okay? It's starting to get to me.
I think she has multiple baby daddies. We'll find out here.
So I had to compose myself because I'm literally keep crying. Like, y'all, this shit is so hard. Every time I feel like I'm doing good, I go back. Okay. So boom. Okay. My kids' daycare, I just got school readiness, like assistance to help, right? So they helping me and then turn around, like, okay, before that, I ain't paid my rent. Like, my rent ain't even paid. It still ain't paid. And I was like asking my daycare, like, oh, basically, like, oh, can y'all work with me so I can pay my rent and I can pay y'all like next week? No, if y'all don't pay, they can't come on some shit. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So I had no choice but to pay the care, or they couldn't go to school because guess why? Guess what? I have to work. Okay, I make $20 and I'm raising 3 kids. So $20 for 4 people, $20 an hour for 4 people. That's not enough. Okay, it's not.
But you were young and turned. But he was cute. You had fun making those kids, every last one of them. You told him you wanted it raw, or he wanted it raw, and you let him take it. We're adults. We're having the real conversations. And you did it again and again. Despite other people telling you to slow down, you still did it. And now it's time to drink the coffee. The only people we can feel bad for here are those innocent children.
It's not enough. So the school's like, oh, you can either pay the $156 or they can't go. So I paid the $156, and now my rent late. So now I got to pay like $1,900 for my rent, right? Okay, so now I'm paying the rent late. I'm going to pay it Friday. And here they go with this New Year's registration fee or some bullshit like that. And keep in mind, I just paid the $156, so that's the weekly school registration that I pay with, like with the school readiness assistance. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so I get to their daycare this morning, and they're like, "Oh, did you know like you didn't pay the New Year renewal fee or some shit like that?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, how much is that, y'all?" $200 something for Rylan, and then like 100 something. They're asking me next week to pay almost 400. No. It is $400 because 156 weekly. That's what I pay, and then they're asking me to pay over that. So 2 plus. That's almost that's 400 and something dollars that they're asking me to pay next week. It's like $478.
Why?
And I was asking them, like, is there any way that I can make a payment plan? Because, babes, I can't afford that. If I'm on school readiness, why the think I can afford that, right? Okay, so boom. I'm asking, like, my two older kids, they have a dad. And then Rylan, my little one, has a dad. Their dad paid child support.
Good.
So I don't have to, worry about it. Like, I use his money strictly for the kids. Like, I put it straight towards her, her tuition and shit like that. It ain't no money. Like, it ain't no more. Like, it was only enough to pay for her shit. If I would have been, some shit, and I would have paid Rylan's own with their dad money, and I wouldn't have cared, but I can't because there's nothing. So I asked her dad, like, oh, can you help me? Like, can you help me? Y'all keep in mind, this wanted the baby. Like, keep in mind, this had my ovulation tracking his phone. Keep in mind, this planned to get me pregnant. Like, he planned to get me pregnant, knowing I didn't want a third child because I was already like, it was not hard, but it was going to be hard if I had another kid. Like, I knew I wouldn't be able to afford having 3 kids. And guess what?
What?
I had a third kid.
What a surprise. What a surprise. Putting herself in the position of a victim. One question for you, ma'am. Where is your ring? Where is your ring? Where's the dot? Can we see the dude? Who helped you select your husband? No? Nah. People don't want these topics to be addressed because it's too real. I know it's too real, but such is real life. Somewhere out there, a young woman is going to stumble on this video. She's going to say, that channel right there is highly triggering. But my goodness, I do remember this, and that's never going to be me. And good for that chick. And I'm sure it's happened.
Okay, y'all gonna be like, oh, you should use protection, blah, blah. I don't give a y'all opinions. Y'all not me. Y'all don't know the I live. I don't give a so I don't care.
And there you have it. There you have it. She just cursed everybody who could have spoken some life into her, given her some tips, helped her out. F everybody, you don't know me, F you, F you, F you. This is who we're supposed to sit here and feel bad for. As she comes on here with tears, crying about the decisions she's made to ruin her life and 3 innocent children. Can you see how it feels? If it feels difficult for people to look at this and find a sympathetic bone for her with this energy. Can you imagine the amount of people in her life who've tried to give her counsel and direction? And she's cursed them out just like that. Just like that. I
don't care. So I asked him for help, and he's asked every excuse. Y'all keep in mind, I was struggling last year. Like, it was like one point of last year I was struggling. I didn't get none of my taxes. The girl ran off. Like, the girl who's supposed to be my best friend, she took the money. I don't know if she took it or somebody took it, but I don't have it.
Friends with scammers. Friends with scammers.
And so I told him to file our daughter, you know, because me and him was on good terms. Like, I thought we was. So I asked him, like, to file her. He like, okay, cool, this, that, and third. He files our daughter, y'all. Tell me why he files her. Months go by, and I'm not hearing nothing. Nothing. Like, no money. Like, he's knowing I need it because I can't afford this apartment. Because this apartment is like $1,700. And he like, oh, when I get it, I'm going to give it to you. It was like, he got back like almost $4,000 for her, y'all. He don't work. He don't work.
So not only is she choosing men who don't want to marry her, she's picking pookies who maybe can't be employed because they have a criminal record, or they just decided, hey, I don't want to amount to anything in life.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
And don't forget, she cursed you out not too long ago.
So when the money came, he threw it up in my face and laughed and told me that he wasn't giving it to me and he used it for drugs. Like, he used it for money for himself and shit like that. Y'all, not one time last year, maybe one time, but he never helped for her daycare. He is a diaper and wipe dad. That's what type of he is. He's a diaper and wipe dad.
That's your man.
And y'all, I swear to God,
That's your
when
man.
me and him was together,
right.
When I just had my 2 kids before his daughter came, they did everything. I'm talking about he helped me with everything. Like, he helped pay for everything. Like, he told me, if they ain't got it, don't worry about it for them. Like, he used to literally pick my kids up when I used to be stressed out and
with your car.
Take them places. Like, he literally used to do so much for my kids. She used to buy them everything and do everything. He even helped me with their birthday. So now all of a sudden our daughter comes.
Just a bunch of bare minimums. Picking them up, help me with the birthday. What a dad, right? Listen, man, this is insane.
You don't got the same energy. You just wanted the baby so he could keep knowing me. Yeah. And it's so crazy because if I get a boyfriend, he'll go crazy. Like, he'll crash out, lose his mind. Like, he'll lose his mind. Like, how the like, I don't be liking that shit. He's a narcissist. He's like a big narcissist, bro. Like, he'll crash out if he can't follow me on Instagram. Like, he be crashing out about stupid shit. Like, I don't be that. Like, he literally only wanted the baby so he can know me for the rest of my life. But I'm over here struggling. So now the daycare is sitting right here telling me, basically, if I don't got that $400 by Monday, my daughter can't go to school. And
now, hear that. Her daughter, now you're seeing the statistics play out right in front of your face. Her daughter now has a disadvantage. Boom. Okay, no education, not the ideal education that she could get because she's struggling. Most single moms struggle. She should play the video. Okay, if you want to listen to her, let's go.
Told him that, and he's basically like, oh, well, find another job. Like, you could do it. The mamas always provide. You're a provider. It's gonna work out. You're gonna make a way through. Like, he be saying shit like that. Like, oh, you're the mom. Like, you're gonna figure it out. You gotta figure it out. Like, that's how he's talking to me. You have to figure it out. Like, what the like, is this not our child? Is this not ours? Is this not the daughter that you wanted? Like, I'm sorry. Like, what? So I'm really like, I'm up. It's 12 o'clock. Like, at night, I can't sleep because I'm already stressed about the rent that I got to pay Friday on top of $500 that I don't have. Y'all, I already pawned. I have 4 necklaces. I already pawned 2 chains. And a pendant. I don't have it. Like, I don't want to keep pawning my jewelry, bro. Like, I just really want to be in a place where I can move. Like, I'm trying to move to somewhere cheaper, and I just don't have enough like that lump to move. Like, how the I'm gonna save if I'm behind in debt every single month? How the am I gonna save if I have to pay for daycare and pay for rent, pay for lights, and pay for everything by myself? I can't even save $5, y'all. I'm literally in the negative.
Damn.
Every single month. And people think, oh, like, Lex living so nice. Lex living so lavish. No, Lex is struggling. Lex is struggling. Like, real deal struggling. Like, this shit's no joke. Like, like, this shit's not a game. People be seeing me, oh, pretty face, pretty. That don't mean nothing. Pretty people struggle. What the I'm struggling. I make $20 an hour, and I'm four people. I'm $20 an hour, 4 people. You do the math. You tell me. Impossible. Like, and he just don't give a.
All right. I know I kept that going longer than I probably should have. Let's read a few of these comments. Top comment here says, I have 3 kids too. Don't allow anybody to ever claim your kids. Can you take out a loan? Somebody else here says, 1, 2, 3 kids. Here's somebody else who says, why y'all be laying up and getting pregnant by bums? Hey, that's a good question, Brooke. Good question there. Way to ask the real question. Let's see. We know they love bums. Here's somebody else who says, it's not enough compassion in these comments for me. If you're raising a daughter in your life, this type of compassion that they're giving her online is not how reality will treat her. You want to prepare people for the real world, not TikTok, not social media, not the sisterhood. You want to prepare them for the real world. There are a lot of people out here preparing their sons, daughters for the wrong thing. She goes on to say, sending you so much love, mama. So she cursed out everybody. And this chick right here thinks that she should be shown grace. Here's somebody else who says, my own husband can't convince me to have another baby. I'm 2 and through because I know I can maintain 2 on my own. Not a soul can convince me to have more children. Having more than you can handle is on you. Here, let's see some responses. Me with my 1. Let's see. It's way too many options out here to prevent this. Here's somebody else who says, when they no longer have access to you, they will do anything to make things harder for you and struggle. He's not going to help because it somewhat benefits you. I can relate, and I'm sorry. Hey, listen, guys. Here's what they want. They don't want the truth. They don't want the coffee. They want this. They want more of this. They want more of this for your children, your future daughters, right? We're the toxic bunch over here that's saying 2-parent family households, chill on the 304 business. Yes, we all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect, but the standard needs to be raised when it comes to expectations. Live in reality, not delusion. They are against all that. And my only question to them would be, are you having a good time? To my engaged and soon to be married men, make sure you head over to fathershaverights.com and get the #1 guide to drafting a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement. And if you're a father or a husband, consider joining Brew Brothers. I'm going to be having a few guests in there to show fathers who I believe the #1 thing they want is how they can better provide for their family, to give you different options via other people who are finding other ways to make money on the side, so on and so forth. Join Brew Brothers. Listen, I appreciate you guys. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.